Thank you for watching Lira Scoop. We are glad you are here.
Yeah, I'm here to officiate at the first Research Dissemination, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Conference of Lira University. This is an event where the university has decided, following the government's decision to allocate research funds to all universities, so they decided to exhibit what they have got. They have also been having a conference, sharing the results and discussing how to progress. So today is the closure, and I was invited to give a keynote speech and officiate at the closure. I must say I was here in 2022 when really at the beginning of my being Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, when I was doing an assessment, and we had some discussions, some challenges of how do we move forward. And the university showed me a little bit of baby things. They were doing really baby steps in science. I must say I'm really impressed at how the university has progressed. They have not done too many, but they have taken what they have done forward, which is the best way that they should go. So I'm very happy with the progress. And as Science, Technology and Innovation, we are not like other ministries. We do not have peripheral implementation structures of ourselves. So we work through universities and community innovators, people who do innovation. So I move to make sure that we support these structures. So one, we are definitely going to be looking at the products that they have. There are some products that are very, very promising, and they are ready to be transitioned from the university's research fund to the STI Innovation Fund. So we have captured most of those, and we will be working with them to prepare them when the National Research and Innovation Fund applications are ready. There are some products that are ready to receive support towards commercialization. They have done a good job. They have a minimum viable product that we can now transition. At least I've seen one. There are two which need a few steps to reach there, but there is one that we are ready, will be ready to pick up and enroll in our investor and market readiness program. This receives support not only towards bettering the product, but they also receive support to know about the packaging, about the marketing. We also support in the business development so that they understand what the difference is from having a research product to having a business. And we support them with market access. We'll be enrolling them in Made in Uganda. And we find mentors in similar industries who help them to reach the international market. So we are hoping to pick at least one or two as a model. And I think I've identified the one that we are going to pick as the pilot. Then the university will be able to learn from that. But generally what I've seen, the students here, the lecturers here, they're really serious. And I'm very, very impressed by the university. Our universities have understood their role as teaching, research, but that research was not seen as research which leads to products. So most of the research they do has been research to publish papers, academic papers, and hardly producing anything which goes towards building the economy. However, since 2022, I've been challenging these universities, and that has led to the shift towards research which leads to products. And so now we have entered a pipeline. And even in their content of education, they have been mostly focusing at the periphery, teaching people research methods, just how do you do a problem, how do you do this, how do you collect data, how do you analyze and publish a paper. But we need to take the research through innovation. That is what you have found through the research. How can it exactly solve the problems? Because usually at the end of that knowledge, they may have ideas, they will develop some technology. But those technologies, some of them have stayed like that for a very long time. So we need the universities to shift out of that mode. Our universities had been built of the concept of the ivory tower, where the university is elite, but they don't see themselves as part of solutions for the economy of the nation. So what we are demanding, and this is the third university now I'm addressing with this message, get off that high table and let us get down together. Let us find industry, let us find the products, and let us industrialize our nation, because the universities are going to be key. They are the biggest concentration of the most educated, most knowledgeable people. But I'm glad to say that the universities seem to be very eager. It's just that this kind of knowledge was not in their scope. So they are very, very eager to move on everywhere I have gone. And so I've been holding regional conferences. Early May, we shall hold a regional conference, the Northern. We were supposed to hold it this week, but because of other commitments, we had to postpone it. I've finished the one for Southwestern. It was at Mbarara University. We will hold one for Northern, one for Eastern, and then one for Central. Then we'll have a national conference to work together for us to blend and see how do we drive the economy towards the 2040 vision. How do we drive the vision of STI through NDP4? Initially, government was not funding a lot. Government has been funding research in universities for a while. However, it was not so much. And from my analysis, government was not wrong. Because if you pour a lot of money in systems which are not ready, they don't yield results. But now that we are ready, and universities play a big role in the STI agenda for the country, government has been increasing the money that they are putting in the universities. Now almost every university, every government university gets a research fund. We receive a research and innovation fund at STI, which is competitive. And the commitment I have is that they are going to increase that money. They are going to increase that money. Moreover, there are some industries, once you have reached the industrialization phase, we are putting up innovative funding models, because when you reach building an industry, then you have a need for a big chunk of money, like $100 million US. So that one may not fit in these small funds. But either government puts out special fund for that. For example, they've put money over $100 million US in Chira Motors. So once we reach there, then we jump to a different type of funding, and we are working together with Ministry of Finance, National Planning Authority, Uganda Development Bank, to put together a fund which will fund those industries which have reached there. But before we get there, we have made plans to support these beginning innovators who reach industrialization. We have a national network of infrastructure. So not everybody, for example, if I need to produce this feed, this NutraFeed, I do not need to put up a new factory for them. There are facilities in the country where they can go, manufacture and sell as we build the additional capacity. But government is very committed now. We want the knowledge in our universities to be channeled towards developing our economy and producing solutions to our country. Every institution in the country, if the country is going to develop, every institution needs to have a strategy for generation of income. No institution should set itself to be a consumer. Academic export is one of the biggest contributors to the American economy. A European economy, universities, Canada is one of those universities that get a lot of money because they have developed very good academic programs. But also in most universities, how do they get money? Because the research they do generates royalties. If they patent, they have intellectual property, or some of their products end up as industries, they pay the universities money. So an university which is connected to industries is not dependent on appropriation because they are able to produce. And in this region, I think that if our universities can produce, can add what I was saying there, apart from the science, the technology, they begin to add practical innovation. They begin to add skills in industry, in manufacturing. They begin to add skills in commercialization. Then in this African region, even we can export education. You export education by bringing in internationals, and it begins a big generator of income for the country. So universities need to stop thinking about themselves as a consumer, underfunded institution, to think innovatively. How can we generate money and even contribute to the consolidated fund?
In Lira University, we have gone without funding for the first few years. But then for the first time, we received money from the government, 500 million. And that is what has culminated in this conference. We have continued to ask for more money. Most universities got maybe $1 billion or something like that, but we have got 500 million. That gentleman did a good job by creating Oliver Twist. And that's what we are in. We need some more. I want to thank Professor Omech and his team.
Our motto as a beacon, which must raise our standards so that our light can shine on others. On that day, we were graced by keynote speaker, Professor Celestino Gua, who delivered a very powerful reflection. Part of his reflection was that research must be relevant to societal needs and translated into practice. Research must understand the policy process and engage with the multidisciplinary team. Universities plays a catalytic role on the triple helix model of university, industry, and government partnership. So here we have participants from all aspects of our community. Those in the industry, academia, students, and all sorts of workmanship. So we have been having that kind of conversation. He emphasized that while publications are vital for academia, policy impact requires strategic communication tailored to decision makers. Day 2, yesterday, was well packed. It was focused on entrepreneurship, a day dedicated to stimulating entrepreneurial thinking and institutional support system. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, in his opening remarks, referred to 1998 World Declaration on Higher Education, which called for Lira University to be a one-stop center for solutions, advocating for business incubation hub. The keynote speaker was Dr. Joshua Mutimbwa from Ministry of Trade and Cooperatives. He highlighted the historical origin of entrepreneurship and its role in job creation and economic transformation. The crucial role of government support in nurturing entrepreneurship and the need for robust collaboration between academia, business, and government, echoing the triple helix model once again. And day 3, which is today, is focused on innovation exhibition. This final day celebrated the practical and innovative spirit of our university. The objective was to exhibit projects supported by Lira University Research and Innovation Fund, showcase prototypes and community-driven solutions, and to engage stakeholders in exploring scaling strategies for impactful innovation. While celebrating our achievement, we also recognize persistent challenges like limited infrastructure, low research capacity, and the transition gap between prototypes and market-ready products. To overcome this, we call for sustained investment Honorable Minister, we have always called for the need to build innovation hubs and incubation centers in this university. And we are also working on mechanisms for intellectual property protection. Such investments are critical to unlocking the full potential of Uganda innovators and establishing Lira University as a regional leader in science and technology. Our call, therefore, Honorable Minister, is that we are grateful you are here. We expected you in the morning, but due to your other engagement, we are still very happy that you are coming here when many of our innovators have showcased and made some presentations, but at least you managed to go through the stall and saw for yourself a few of the things we have. We, on behalf of the university and organizing committee, we really humbly appeal for your continued support and increased support for institutions like Lira University. Let this match our commitment to embed research, innovation, and entrepreneurship at the very core of our academic institution. So looking ahead, as we conclude this historic conference, we are inspired by the vibrant exchange of ideas, the depth of collaboration, and the clear momentum that has emerged. Whether you participated as a student, a researcher, policymaker, or a partner, your contribution has brought us closer to the future where knowledge will drive policy, innovation will fuel enterprise, and entrepreneurship will transform our lives. As the Vice Chancellor noted in his communication to us, we must reorient our training from early stage to nurture the inquiring minds that will become researchers and innovators of tomorrow.
That will challenge your facilities. You learn the camera technology. You learned the sensor technology, the camera technology. So you incorporate both this one and this.
Scoop. We are glad you are here.